Different parts of Airbus aircraft are transported by loading them into this cargo plane called Beluga. But just think about it when it comes to the world's largest passenger aircraft, the Airbus A380. Transporting its joint parts with the help of any ordinary airplane is impossible. Because so far, no such cargo aircraft has been built that can fit this palace-like aircraft inside it. How are the parts of the A380 manufactured across Europe, brought to Airbus's assembly unit? Welcome to Mystery Hub Videos. Viewers, Airbus is a European aircraft manufacturing company that produces 1,000 aircraft every year and delivers them to airlines all over the world. If calculated, that comes to 3 new aircraft per day. More or less, Airbus has to manufacture 3 new aircraft daily, which is an unbelievable challenge. How are these aircraft actually built? That is a completely different story. But the different parts of these aircraft, which are manufactured in every corner of Europe, how are they transported to the French city of Toulouse, where Airbus's main assembly unit is located? Airbus's logistics system, combining sea, rivers, land, and air, is called the world's most complex transport network. Its parts are manufactured in different European countries and then gathered in one place to form a large, beautiful aircraft. This is not an ordinary task, but rather the extraordinary result of decades of engineering and logistics planning. In the 1960s, major European countries such as France, Germany, Spain, and the UK came together and envisioned a new dream: to compete with the American aircraft manufacturer Boeing. Their aim was to create an alliance that could produce large commercial aircraft. However, this partnership had a major problem. Airbus has 11 production sites spread across different European countries. Each site has its own specific expertise, and each location manufactures a specific section of the aircraft. For example, tail sections are built in Hamburg, Germany. The central compartment and nose section are manufactured in Saint-Nazaire, France. Wings are built in Broughton, England, while a factory for manufacturing tail parts is located in Cadiz, Spain. When all these factories finish producing the different parts of the aircraft, a new challenge begins. Because parts as large as a football field must be transported to the French city of Toulouse, where Airbus's assembly unit is located. In the beginning, when the demand for Airbus aircraft was low, trucks and ships were used. This was a slow process, and the delivery of parts used to take months. But as demand increased, waiting for months became an obstacle to the company's growth, especially when 3 aircraft had to be produced daily. To solve this problem, Airbus came up with a new and remarkable solution. In the Arctic Ocean, there is a whale whose voice echoes like a song. It is called the Beluga whale. In 1994, Airbus took inspiration from this whale and built a new aircraft, naming it Beluga. The sole purpose of this aircraft was to transport large and heavy aircraft parts. The Beluga has a capability that is not found in ordinary cargo aircraft. Talking about size and capacity, the Beluga is 56 meters or 184 feet long, longer than the full length of an Olympic swimming pool. Its height is 17 meters or 56 feet, making it as tall as a 7-story building. It has so much cargo space inside that 182 Suzuki Altos can easily fit inside. The most special feature of its loading system is its nose section, which lifts upward like a car's bonnet, making the loading and unloading of parts extremely easy. A pair of wings from an Airbus A380, which are 32 meters long, easily fit inside the Beluga's fuselage. The price of this single wing pair is 40 million euros. That is why even the slightest damage during loading can result in losses worth billions, so extreme caution is taken at every step. When it comes to speed, The parts that used to take several months to reach Toulouse by trucks and ships are now transported by the Beluga from one end of Europe to the other in just 2 hours. Because of this speed, there is no interruption in Airbus's assembly line. After this success, in 2014, Airbus introduced an even better version of the Beluga, called the Beluga XL, which has the capacity to carry even more and larger parts. Everything was going smoothly until 2004, when the world's largest passenger aircraft, the Airbus A380, was launched. Its fuselage was 8.4 meters tall, and the width of its wings near the fuselage reached up to 16 meters. The problem now was that the Beluga XL, whose cargo compartment height is 7.5 meters, could fit neither the Airbus A380's fuselage nor its wings. And here it is also worth noting that the fuselage, which is cylindrical in shape, is relatively easy to manufacture in different sections and then join together, whereas the wings are manufactured as a single piece because they contain fuel tanks as well as hydraulic lines. Moreover, the maximum stress is borne by the wings themselves. That is why the wings are built in one piece, so that no structural weakness or fuel tank leakage occurs. To transport the components of this new A380 from different parts of Europe to Toulouse, Airbus initially considered building a Beluga XXL. However, there were many issues. First, the Beluga would have to be redesigned, and its engine capacity would also need to be increased, which would cost billions of euros. On the other hand, the Airbus A380 is such a large aircraft that not every airline can operate it, due to which its demand was already quite low. So, to transport the parts of only a few aircraft, Airbus dropped the idea of building the Beluga XXL. Now, Airbus had to find a new route, and from here begins the story of the super convoy that travels via land, river, and sea. Airbus specially commissioned roll-on roll-off ships so that large and heavy parts could be transported easily. In these ships, the parts are moved using wheels, making loading and unloading possible. That is why they are called roll-on, roll-off, or simply ro-ro ships. Among these ships, one well-known vessel is called City of Hamburg, which is 126 meters long and 20 meters wide. Its cargo space is 5 times larger than that of the Beluga XL. From Germany's Hamburg port, Airbus's massive sections are placed on rolling platforms and moved directly inside the ship, eliminating the need for cranes. This ship is traveling from Hamburg, Germany, to the port of Saint-Nazaire, France, covering a distance of 1,600 kilometers. This journey is by no means easy, because storms in the North Sea and waves rising up to 5 meters high are very common. Just imagine that if, due to the movement of the sea, wings worth 4 billion were to receive even the slightest scratch, the company would have to rebuild the entire wing. That is why the ship's captain and crew check the cargo chains every 4 hours, while a camera monitors the cargo 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ensuring that there is no possibility of any damage. Upon reaching the port of Saint-Nazaire in France, a stopover takes place, after which the parts are unloaded and placed onto specially designed barges. These barges transport the parts via the Garonne River to the French city of Bordeaux. Here, the biggest challenge emerges, because the Pont de Pierre Bridge is located on the Garonne River, and its arches are quite narrow. This 500-meter-long bridge was constructed in the year 1810, and not all of its arches are exactly the same size. Out of these, only arch number 9 has a width of 19 meters, through which the barges can pass, but with only a few inches of clearance on either side. The issue of width is resolved, but the height of the arches depends on the water level. Although this section of the Garonne River is about 60 kilometers away from the Atlantic Ocean, the water level here still depends on ocean tides. Under normal conditions, the water level is high, and it is not possible for barges to pass through these arches. However, every 12 hours, the captain has only a 3-minute window of opportunity when the water level drops. If this opportunity is missed, the entire convoy has to stop for 12 hours, and Airbus's entire schedule is delayed. To solve this problem, adjustable platforms were installed on the barges so that they could pass beneath the arches easily even during low tide. This was a small part of the logistics process, but its importance was extremely high. So far, you have learned about the sea and river journey. Now let us move toward the land journey, because Bordeaux is still approximately 250 kilometers away from Toulouse. This journey begins with 50-meter-long super trucks. Each truck is equipped with a 650-horsepower engine and 96 wheels. Airbus parts are transported to the Toulouse assembly unit using these super trucks. However, this task is no less than a challenge. To keep road traffic minimal, the entire convoy operates only at night. During nighttime, highways and city roads are completely closed. A team of 40 people, including police, escort vehicles, and engineers, accompanies this convoy. The most challenging part of the convoy is navigating through roundabouts and tight corners in small towns. A wing extending up to 15 meters behind the truck passes just a few centimeters away from lampposts, trees, and rooftops. Finally, when all these parts reach the Toulouse assembly unit, they are assembled within just a few hours with the help of advanced high-tech systems. To join the fuselage of the world's largest passenger aircraft, the A380, more than 19,000 rivets are used, while more than 4,000 rivets are required to attach the wings to the fuselage. After engines, electronics, interior installation, and painting, the aircraft becomes fully ready for delivery. Completing an A380, covering the manufacturing of its different parts, their transportation and assembly, takes approximately 9 months. To date, only 251 units of the Airbus A380 have been produced, because operating it is not within the capability of every airline. Remarkably, nearly 50% of these units are owned by Emirates Airline alone. This aircraft can carry up to 850 passengers at one time. Its takeoff weight is approximately 575,000 kilograms, which is roughly equal to the combined weight of 300 SUVs. In terms of price, a single A380 costs approximately $445 million. At this price, 5 aircraft similar to the Boeing 737 can be purchased. The next time you travel in an Airbus aircraft, you will surely understand how this aircraft was built with immense passion, hard work, and outstanding teamwork, and how it was transported while braving countless risks. We hope you enjoyed this Mystery Hub video. Keep supporting us. We will meet again in the next amazing video.